Yeah. Good double swing, yeah.
Decided that a good idea after the Misarava battle, when he decided to withdraw, was to withdraw to this position here of Brigade Hill. So Brigade Hill itself is actually this high ground in front of us here. This is part of the battlefield.
We're at the boundary of Afogi village, and as you can see they go by the church boundaries here rather than some sort of council regulated thing as we might at home. And this is the extremity of the Brigade Hill situation, but another reminder of how remote we are even today. Out there's one of those airstrips that you would only ever find in a far off place like this. It's really just perched on the ridge of a hill. You may not be able to see it on the camera here, but it's a tiny little strip and it's a spectacular mountain range. We've reached Diggers campsite today, and tomorrow we're looking at heading out to Mayola, which is a very important resupply area where planes had come in and just shoved bundles out the windows, out the doors to resupply the troops, which was a blessing and a curse of a situation for them. They couldn't land planes, they just had to shove the stuff out the windows, and that went okay. It was the best of a bad option. But the important thing today, reaching here, Diggers campsite, is we've sort of made it to the top of the hill. This is one of the higher points in the entire walk. So from here on, after especially two really hard days of walking up and up and up, we're here in a wonderful spot. Over here some guys are bathing in the river. Jimmy, one of the porters behind the camera here, is off in the bush collecting some koka, I think it's called, to go with the meat tonight. And so yeah, it's a great place, really nice spot to be and finally get to today. We had a really tough climb, and it's a big relief to be in camp. Yeah. So for tonight, here's my tent, and there's my view. How are you feeling, Josh? You're looking pretty strapped up.
Cold.
You just had a shower in the creek.
That creek is freezing.
Yep. How's your day been though?
It's been good.
Yeah. Highlights?
Oh, getting here, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's been a hard walk.
Yeah.
Wiley Creek Camp. the incident. They couldn't gain comms with the aircraft, so something pretty major happened. We can only assume something electrical, because we've had a flight engineer on one of these trips, and he tells me, looking at the propeller, that the propellers were still turning when it impacted, just from the leading.
Your brake master cylinder, or your brake slave cylinder. That does all the work. But that'd be an EHV. There's a cylinder over there.
That's a big pile of engine parts there. There's all kinds of.
.231 metres. This is the highest point on the track.
In charge of the engineers, ordered the engineers to move up the track and to carry enough explosives to blow the gap in and deal with the Japanese that way, and basically deny the Japanese any access further south from this point here. So what the gap is actually referring to is to where we're standing now, to the other side of the valley here, being the Kokoda Gap here. This is Ura Creek.
Now we've reached Templeton's Crossing, named after the man who led the 39th Battalion across the Kokoda track. He was killed in action after venturing further forward than Kokoda. So he was, from all accounts, a fantastic leader who worked incredibly hard to get an untrained group of men in shape and all the way across this mountain range. And every day we're out here, we're seeing more and more why that's an incredibly special thing.
SMK is smoke.
Yep. Once we get up there, you'll see this whole pit is orientated towards the whole line of that big spur we just walked in. There. This gun was orientated. All it had to do every 2 or 3 rounds, adjust up a bit, whack a few more rounds in it, adjust.